You know, we always have to break down each and every day when it comes to talking about some footage. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. All right, we have to one break down the tape. All right, we're gonna get our quick takes from the rest of our team. Matt can't make it tonight, but we got Josh and we got Grant on standby. But take a whole list of the lineup. So we're gonna get into the defense first. I've been back and forth. Do I start with the offense? Do I start with the defense? Who's to blame for the game, offense or defense? I think both parties at fault with some coaching as well. But I'm going to dig a little bit more into specific players. But I'm not here by myself. Let me go and bring everyone else in right now. We got Josh and we got Grant. Josh and Grant both open in Northwest Arkansas. And I want to apologize. Flag on me. I accidentally took Josh's camera. And so he has to use his computer camera, which is not bad. It looks
Not
great,
bad.
Josh.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
that's on me, man. I'm sorry about that, man. All right. But as we
It's
bring
okay.
everyone else in right now, fellas, before I get your quick thoughts, I wanted to show something real quick, okay? And I think this play, actually, these two things, one from offense, one from defense, kind of sum things up. And it's tough to watch, okay? So before we get into what y'all have coming up later in the week, I'm going to start everybody off with this, okay? Two things that I just can't wrap my mind around when it comes to playing at this level. College ball, you're with the elite of the elite. And I know a lot of people talked about coming out of a 2-minute timeout. You have 12 men breaking the huddle. How does it happen? It's not supposed to happen. Some people say, even I said this, you know, if Coach Petrino's on the field and not up in the box, does that happen? I don't know. But all those coaches are more than qualified to make sure this doesn't happen. All those players are more than qualified. You know what we're doing in this one, Grant or Josh? If it's, say, 12 personnel means one running back, two tight ends. I'm looking at Chris Gregg, and I say, all right, Chris, we got to lock in on this one. We really need this. You know, we're down one. We got to get in. And if I look to my left and I saw Ben Cleveland, I'd be like, Ben, what are you doing here? Get off the field. It's 12 personnel. Like, you have plenty of time to figure that out. And so I'm going to go ahead and play this through real quick. And what even blows my mind beyond the penalty is game is on the line. All right. It's a must-have play. And this is the receiver that is not supposed to be on the field. He's not even going to the right spot. He's going to the opposite side of the field. So I'm saying, where were you during this timeout? Were you in the huddle? Were we paying attention? I could maybe understand it if you broke the huddle and went to where you were actually supposed to line up in the first place. Just no excuse for that one. Real quick, take on that one, fellas, when it comes to just the mishap mentally out of the 2-minute timeout. Grant, I'll start with you.
Yeah, it's confusing, right? I mean, and to your point, I think the big thing that when we were there, that always, if you're coming out of a timeout, you knew the play call, you knew the formation, you knew everything. The people that were in that formation were the only ones that were huddled up on the sideline. And we always kept Mallet maybe 5-7 yards out of the huddle, just in case, right? Just in case you had too many people in there, so you figured it out late, you still don't break the huddle with that many. So I don't know. I mean, it is a little bit of a little bit of a blunder when it comes to coming straight out of a 2-minute timeout, games on the line, and you get a free timeout with the new rules of college football, and then you get a 5-yard penalty coming out of it. It's mind-boggling a little bit that that's something that would happen, and that we weren't prepared enough or knew the play call specifically enough to allow that to happen.
Josh, what you got?
Man, it comes down to coaching, DJ. We were talking about it when we were watching the game. There's a lot of mental errors that I think can be stopped when coaches are on the sideline, actively thinking ahead, making sure, hey, let me make sure that everybody's on the same page here. I think that this game, there's multiple coaching, what I would believe to be coaching errors or things that you expect your coach to get ahead of and foresee the issue to make sure that the team is ready to not have any mental mistakes. I think as a coach, you have to be thinking about, hey, my players are in a high pressure situation. Let me make sure I'm crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's for them. Now you got veteran players. DJ, you talked about that. If you were on the field, you'd be looking over at Chris Gregg. You'd be looking over at Ben Cleveland. You would find it. You would see it. But not everybody's like that. And as a coach, I don't think you want to bank on your players catching that type of stuff. You also have to think to yourself, let me make sure we don't make any mental errors in this situation. And so that's, for me, that's why I think it comes down to coaching. We had multiple situations like that. And I know you're probably going to touch on this, but also that fumble, reaching out for the first down. I think that's something you address prior to the play.
Absolutely. We'll talk about that. I mean, we already know about that. You can't reach out for that one. I actually talked to Mike Washington a little bit later this week. I'll ask him about it. All right. So we have that happen. And then on the defensive side of the ball, the other play that is just kind of blowing people's mind is this 3rd and 7 pickup. All right. So I wish Matt was here to kind of talk about this with us. But like I said, he's busy. He'll give us his 2 cents later. Right before the snap, the biggest play of the game defensively, and we're not ready. We're still having miscommunication issues. You see Sori here trying to talk to the guy to the left of him, make sure everybody's on the same page, but the ball snapped. Now you're just a little bit late. You're just a little bit late. Caleb Wooden, I need you to stop spectating what is going on and get your nose in there, okay? Shoot this gap. I mean, it's happening too much, and I've seen it now too much on film. This is tough for me because this is another guy that I talk to each and every week who comes on the zone, but and then I'll ask him about this. Why are we playing so timid back here? You should be shooting through this gap, blowing it up. I mean, take another look. Why are we settling right here? This is happening all over the field. Players settling down and just trying to catch these blocks. You should go in there like a missile and blow this up. The other teams do. We can as well. And then as we see the whole push, I know everybody's talking about you're dragging a 300-pound guy. I got my DB up here. He's complaining to the referee because he wants a hold call. Let them handle that. This is not the time nor place to beg for a penalty being held. Go get in here and stop this first down from happening. And then, once again, 15, what are we doing? I mean, best seats in the house right here. He's watching the game. And you watch it afterwards. Just kind of like, okay, yeah, game's over. There goes the season. I really don't understand it, guys. That tough film to watch. You see it right here. Just get in there. Too much settling down. That's tough. And so last play of the game, 3rd and 7 or 8. I can't remember off the top of my head. But thoughts on that? Oh, sorry. Getting way ahead of myself. We'll talk about this part here in just a second. That's a whole nother ball game. But fellas, when it comes to, once again, just the effort out on the field, Grant, when you saw that last 3rd down, what were you thinking?
I think it summed up the game and probably has summed up the last couple of weeks for me. I think we talked about after the Ole Miss game on the defensive side of the ball is what's missing, what's going on. What, to me, in this Memphis game, we were in position as players to make plays, and they didn't happen. It wasn't necessarily a coaching thing. And you hear Travis Williams' name thrown around. Oh, he's terrible. He doesn't. Blah, blah. There were a lot of instances where the guys were where they were supposed to be when they were supposed to be there, and they didn't make the play. And so to me, that's just a want to and an effort thing. You just have to want it worse than the guy across from you. And that last play is 100% it. That quarterback said, I have to get a first down. It's 3rd and 8. If I get this first down, we seal the game and we're 4-0 and everything we want to do is out in front of us. And we just laid back. And you saw it. I mean, there's 2 or 3 players right there in that one clip that you could see just kind of trotting around when literally that play right there, if we get them down, they punt it back to us. We've got about 45 seconds to try to get in field goal range and go win the game. If you can't get up for that play as a defender, I don't know what play you can.
I agree. Josh?
Yeah, DJ, I mean, I think Grant's totally right there. But what I also see in that play is 22. I believe that's Wooden. Is that who you said that was, Caleb Wooden?
Yeah.
I also see Wooden tiptoeing there. Even after he realizes that ball is headed right up the hole, he just kind of tiptoes and trots before he, I don't know, like dancing around, doesn't want to get involved with the mosh pit of guys there. I don't understand that because you have to know the game is on the line. We stop this. They're kicking a punt. We're getting the ball back. We've got another opportunity to potentially cross our fingers with a field goal and win this thing. I think that, I think everything stems back from coaching, right? I think coaching can inspire players to play hard. Coaching can inspire the moment. You're coming off of just giving up that fumble. How are we not ready to capitalize on that moment? And yeah, I get it. The guys out there, they've got to be the one that makes the play. But look, I mean, at the end of the day, the buck stops with coaching. Coaching is you're putting the product on the field. This is your product as a coach. So I think it's both. I don't know how we're in that situation, playing that lackadaisical, letting a backup quarterback come in and carry our heaviest guy across the line. If there was a play that explained why we lost to Memphis, it's that play right there. And we had already lost, right? It's just the nail in the coffin for the Arkansas Razorbacks when you talk about effort? How do you not have effort in that moment? How are you not giving every last bit of energy? It absolutely blows my mind. It makes me very concerned about coaching at the University of Arkansas, man. And I hate being that guy calling out coaches and, talking about after the game. I mean, DJ, I sat up that night thinking about what I had said in the post game, being like, man, calling for people's job, that's not me. But you know what? This is what it is. This is what it is. This is where we're at.
Yeah.
You got to. If I don't, I'm lying to everybody.
And I'll say this, and I agree that there is a certain percentage of it that probably is, coaching and getting people. But I'll say this too. If I'm a coach and I'm having to coach your effort and your attitude, I'm not necessarily hired to coach your effort and your attitude. You got here because of your effort and your attitude. I'm putting you in a position to be successful on the field. It's up to you. You got to show up every day. My boss at work doesn't tell me, hey, you got to have a better attitude and more effort today. That's a given. Now, he's going to help me get to where I need to be, or they would help me get to where I need to be. But I don't think as a coach, I have to come in every day and make sure you're ready to go and you have a good attitude for the day. That should just be a given, in my opinion. So if you're having to coach that, I think there's bigger problems there than just, hey, come in, let's get this scheme down right. Let's go hit some people in the mouth.
Well, Grant, I totally agree with you. I guess my question to that would be, well, then why are these the people that the coaches are allowing on the field in moments like this, if that's what you get?
Yeah. That would be my biggest question. I agree. I mean, that may be the piece of the pie that needs to be looked at. But if those are the guys we've got out there, I don't feel like I should be coaching their effort or their attitude.
All right, fellas, a lot to talk about. Once again, the chat, man, y'all been on fire lately. If you want to be a part of the show, all you have to do is hop into the chat, and then a little bit later on in the show, we will answer some of your comments and your questions. Once again, please, for the sake of this show and me trying to make this family-friendly as possible, please try not to use bad potty word mouths in the chat room, okay? You can speak your mind. If you're frustrated, that's cool. Please stay away from that because I really like putting these on the screen so people can see exactly what's going on. All right, but real quick, fellas, let's tease what we got coming up later in the week. Grant, we got to start with you. What you got for us?
Yeah, tomorrow morning we'll release the video, Let Grant Cook. We're going to break down the offensive line. A little bit of a regression this week, so I was a little sad maybe to see that. Wasn't quite as what we'd seen the last 3 weeks, but some good things. I still saw some good things, and I'll definitely point out the things that I like. But some things that we need to work on. Now, Memphis was a trickier opponent, and we'll also maybe look at a little bit of a Notre Dame defense. What do they like to do? What does the offensive line need to be prepared for later in the week? To be determined on that. But we're working through some things there to see if we can get you guys maybe an outlook of what to expect from Notre Dame and how we can attack that.
Okay, appreciate that. That'll be Tuesday with Grant Cook. Very pumped up about that. Like I said, Matt can't be with us. David, just go ahead and roll his tape real quick. Keep the music going. I'm going to tell you what Matt has on tap for everybody this week. He sent me a message. I'm going to go and read it right now as soon as I get Grant off the screen. There you go. Sorry, Grant. All right, here we go. This is what Matt said. He says, big things he wants to talk about this week on the defensive side of the ball, which you can watch Thursday night at Get Defensive with Matt Harris. Get off the field on third down. That's what he wants. Just get off the field. That's going to another one. Poor play out of the linebackers. Supposed to be the strength of the defense. I'm going to talk a little bit about that and the breakdown that is coming up right now. But I'm sure Matt's going to dig a little bit deeper and stop loafing, run. And then he put a bad word in there. I'm not going to say that. Okay. But Matt, very passionate about his Hogs. All right, Josh, you're up next. Let me bring you back in here. What you got coming up for us a little bit later in the week? We got to move on. We got to talk Notre Dame.
Yeah, a little bit later in this week, Friday, actually, after Matt Harris does his defensive breakdown, we're going to be looking at everything you need to know scouting report-wise for Notre Dame and head coach Marcus Freeman. So you guys stay tuned to that. And I'm going to be honest with you, DJ. I took yesterday off. I sat around. I sulked. I thought about my life. I thought about why we're doing this podcast. I thought about, is this worth it? Is the emotional toll that this is taking on me, is this absolutely worth it? My wife, she offered me some words of encouragement. So, tomorrow I will be doing a heavy deep dive into Notre Dame and giving you guys everything you need to know for the Scout 'em Up segment on Friday. So y'all stay tuned for that, because it's a good show to watch, because you get to watch it right before Saturday. So you go into Saturday, everything's top of mind, and you can tell everybody you're sitting with or you are watching the game with, hey, here's what you guys need to know about Notre Dame. Josh Throne told me on 4th and 5.
All right, fellas, don't forget we are here. We're about to get to our breakdown here in just a second. Before we do that, we got to say what's on the board right now. It's Monday Night Football, okay? So we're here at Oaklawn, and we got our picks. We got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Detroit Lions tonight. I'm going with the Ravens on this one, but I'm going to go with the under, okay? I know a lot of people pumped up about Lamar Jackson, how explosive he is, but I don't know. I'm just feeling a little bit less point scored tonight. Guess we'll find out. Up next, it is going to be Grant. What you think about the matchup tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to take Baltimore in the over. Detroit, maybe not quite as good as they have been the last couple years. I think Lamar and that offense probably go score some points here, and I'll take the over and the Ravens.
All right, up next, he can't be here, but Matt, talked to him on the phone. He's with you. He wants – I was supposed to change that. I did not update that. I want to make sure that's on me. Matt wants the over on this game. He wants the over, and he's picking the Ravens. He's very pumped up about Lamar Jackson. All right, Josh, we'll wrap it up with you. What you got?
I think Grant's got it down. Matt's got it down. I've got it as well. I've got Ravens. High scoring offense. Lamar Jackson's absolutely incredible. DJ, I would if I was watching for this 4th and 5 episode for the next few weeks, I would not listen to anything DJ says or puts his money on, because he was bad off. We were supposed to kill Memphis this past weekend. That's what you said. You said we were going to handle them. I lost $150 based on that advice.
I had a 13-leg parlay. 13. I hit 12 out of 13. Guess which one I missed? All right. It was the Arkansas game. Okay. So give me some credit.
DJ. Right? That's bad juju. I'm not listening to anything you have to say. The
percentage of correctness on the 13-leg parlay is pretty darn good. Okay. And I'm pretty sure everyone in here would have picked Arkansas to win.
Football's
except maybe
a game of inches, baby.
Memphis. Who'd you pick?
Football's a game of inches, DJ. You can come real close, but if you don't get it, you don't get it.
Okay, let me see your betting stub with Memphis winning that game. Let me
see that. My wife told me I can't bet anymore after I listen to you, so I'm done for a couple weeks.
Is that right? Get out of here. I'm done with y'all. Fellas, it was fun. Once again, y'all stay tuned all week. My crew is going to have y'all all set up and ready to go moving forward. But first, we have to still talk about this game film. Fellas, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all go ahead and sign off, and we'll go ahead and keep up with this breakdown coming up. All right, so here we go, y'all. I'm going to let y'all push the button. There we go. One more. There it is. All right. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get into the breakdown. What we have for y'all coming up this show right now. I'm going to start with the defense. Like I said, I've been back and forth. Where do we put the blame? It's on both sides, all parties involved. All right. I don't necessarily like to point fingers. We like to then showcase not exactly, a lot of people say, oh, we lost. What happened? The film is where you find your answers, okay? And this is just very, very disappointing film to watch. And I'm going to start, like I said, with the defensive side of the ball. So let's hop into it. A clear case. We talked about Caleb Wooden earlier. He's just jumping around too much, okay? You have to know your responsibility. If you're outside contained, then be outside contained. And don't be so easy to block. You have to strike guys, create the contact. It's just any team that's playing us right now, especially on the edge, outside of a few guys, they're looking at tape like, oh, we're going to have a great day on these guys. They're not very physical, right? He should have outside contained. He jumps inside, and that just opens up this outside lane for it to move. Like small little things turned into a 20-plus yard gain. Now, the ball comes out right there, okay? And this is where I think something's popping up on tape. Xavier Sorey, I don't know what's going on with Sorey. We all know he's a good football player. And this is where I'm really having a hard time trying to these plays, when I look at, I want to say I see somebody who's lazy. I see somebody who's taking plays off. I see somebody that's not physical. And I wouldn't use any of those words to describe Xavier Sorey. We know he's a good football player. Now, a lot of reports have come out that he may be dealing with some injuries, okay? So if he is hurt, put him on the bench. Coaches, you have to step up and say, he's not able to go 100%. I know some players can maybe go 80 and be effective, maybe 75 and be effective. But what we saw on tape from Xavier Sori, he is hurting the football team if he is hurt by having him out there. Give him rest, and hopefully he can be back for a next game 100%. But when you take a look at this play right here, this is just not like him at all. And this popped up a lot. The Xavier Sori I know shoots this gap, and he's meeting this back in the backfield for a big-time hit. He's just so slow moving through it. And then you get to this point, the pursuit, okay? The pursuit. You better be hurt. If not, this is a problem, okay? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I hope you're not hurt, but I just need something to explain this play right now. Look at him just jogging right here. You're going to see it from the end zone angle. But as I get right here and pause it, the ball, perfect job going for the ball, right? Ball comes out. You see it right here. And look who's a little late to the party. Just imagine if Xavier Sori was going 100% in full pursuit. He is right there when that ball gets out. Not saying he gets it, but he has an opportunity to get that turnover. I mean, you heard Josh say it. Football is a game of inches. He's right. He is right. You got to be there. But just the play, once again, take a look at Xavier. This is not him. And I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. And coaches, if you're asking him to get out here and he's not healthy, we saw this a lot last year with Luke Haz when he hurt his back. He was running out there looking stiffer than I am, and I'm not like I used to be. And I was like, why is he out there still playing? And he is noticeably not only hurt, but his performance is hurting the team. This right here is not the Xavier Sori we know taking a play off like that. The one we know is in full pursuit. All right, let's take a look at another play right here as we move along. 2nd and 6. Another guy I want to talk about, Cam Ball. And I've been on him a lot these past couple days. And I've had time to sit back and reflect. And I think I may have changed my thought process just a little bit, but not a lot. This is our leader on our defense, our captain, all right? Our leader on the team. Look at this play right here. Jogging, loafing, not getting to the ball. Okay, so I went back and I started to watch some tape. Let me go back here just a little bit so you can see them highlighted. Somebody commented on Twitter, and you actually brought up a really good point. I screenshotted it. And they were coming at me a little bit, but I thought it was actually a really fair point. And I'm going to go ahead and read it out loud for you. This is from Joe Fra 501. Well, let's see, DJ. I'm sure we could find clips of you jogging. Cam Ball played 140-plus snaps in the last 2 games. Maybe criticize Pittman for the lack of recruiting to get dependable athletes to help that D-line, okay? So I took a second and I reflected. I'm sure there's a couple clips of me loafing. There's not many. I promise you that. Cam Ball is playing a lot of snaps, and when he is healthy, what happened there? Something just went down. Give me 1 second. Oh Lord, that's not good. 1 second, y'all. I can't see my screen. You got to see my screen before we move on. When he is healthy, Cam Ball is, there we go. We're back. Is a very, very effective football player. There we go. All right, we're back. Take a look at this play right here. Great get off against A-State. And watch this pursuit. Okay, this is a 300-plus pound man. Watch this pursuit. He's rolling. He's moving. That's what I like. That's a healthy, fresh Cam Ball. This is the first play of this drive. Second play of the drive. Good get off. Kind of gets pushed a little bit. Tries to get off the ball. And now we're starting to slow down a little bit. Third play of the drive. Once again, gets double team. You see the legs starting to give out just a little bit. Fourth play of the drive. Cam Ball has a straight shot to the quarterback. Now he gets the ball out quick, but he's starting to get a little fatigued. And now you can see it. You can see it now noticeably. Last one to put the hand down right before the ball gets off. And then watch this right here. I'm not used to seeing Cam Ball this happen to him, especially against a team like A-State. Gets driven off the ball, pancaked, 6 yards from the line of scrimmage. Cam Ball is not a bad football player. Cam Ball's just tired. And we have no depth on the D-line, okay? Coaches need to figure out a way to help him. We get that. But, Cam, this is where I'm going to challenge you because, look, you're able to come back the next play noticeably tired. I get it. You wish somebody could come in and help you out, give you a breather. I get it. You see, we're huffing and we're puffing. We've all been there before as athletes. Once again, very slow to get down to the line of scrimmage. Comes off the ball right here and tries to still give it an extra little push. You can see right here, almost gets to the quarterback, but he just runs out of juice. He's not able to get there. He's tired, y'all. So, Cam, this is just – so what's the solution here, okay? Because the reason I'm pointing you out and I sincerely mean this. This team needs you. We need you on the field at all times. I think you're that good of a football player when you're not tired. So the help's not coming. We don't have the depth, okay? You would love for the coaches to tap you in and say, something come here. We got to give them a breather. That's not on the table. It's just not. So it's really what we're going to do off the field to make sure that you never come off the field. Getting more sleep. Your boys want to go out and hang out. Be like, hey, y'all, sorry. I'm not trying to hurt my team. Maybe a girl wants you to take her on a date. All right, I'm sorry, boo-boo. I got to help my team. Maybe you want to go out and have a drink. Maybe you want to go get some fried food. Maybe you want to do all these things. I can't do that because I have to stay on the field at all times. You have to take your preparation week to week to a completely different level, even doing extra conditioning after practice. It is what it is, okay? This team is better when you are fresh and you're making plays. But when you get tired, this team really hurts. So I know that's a lot to put on you, big dog. And you may take this personal. I get it. I would too. But I wouldn't waste my time if I didn't think you were that type of player who could get this done and help this team out. But it has to start somewhere. Our defense needs somebody to inspire them and take them to the next level. And I do believe it will start with you. But it's going to be a very, very tall mountain to crawl or to climb in such a short amount of time. But you're the guy. All right, here we go. Another play right here as we're coming back. I don't get why we're so hesitant. Once again, this is not like Sorey. Sorey of old would be a missile and knock this quarterback out. His approach is just jogging, kind of indecisive. He doesn't get that ball off if he's going 1,000 miles an hour. Another one right here. We got this pressure coming off the edge. We're so late with timing up pressures. If he times that up perfect, this is Neal, our nickel linebacker. This ball doesn't even get off, okay? Quarterback threw it to the wrong guy because they had a guy wide open here for an easy first down to keep the chains moving. Just very slow with the timing of things. So that should happen in practice. Sorey, once again, indecisive. You know this. You see the ball's not being handed off right here. You see it. Get to the quarterback. I don't understand what the holdup is. If he's hurt, like I said, we got to put someone else in and get him healthy. But if he gets there, they don't pick up this 3rd and 10, and it's going to be a turnover. They got to get the ball. They got to punt it, get it rid of it. And then as we keep it rolling, Sorey, once again, he's spying the quarterback, and I don't know what he's looking at. Okay, see, he starts running outside. There's no indication at all that would make him go out that way. You have somebody covering that flat. He's out of position. The running back gets out of the pocket, picks up a first down on a 10 or on a 2 and 10. 2nd and 10, sorry. We also need some help from Collins, all right? Collins has been struggling. Make a decision. Make a decision. You have outside contained help right here. Go blow this tight end up. Number 87, they don't like doing this, okay? I used to play tight end. We used to do these plays all the time, okay? He's coming behind the line of scrimmage, and he has to kick out the defensive end. We know watching film, if there's a DN over there, that's a problem, all right? People are watching this tape right now, and when tight ends have this in the play call, they're going to be like, I'm not worried about number 9 at all. Coach, keep calling the play. Don't be that guy, okay? Don't be that guy. Go blow this guy up and just get a big muddled mess in the backfield. Just too indecisive right here, and just let somebody run right past you, and no one even touched you. Oh, man, this, like I said, it's tough tape to watch. Keep it moving right here. We get to the situation. Great job by the defense getting pressure. You got to like that. In the backfield, finally got a sack. Oh, wait, what are we doing? We got to finish plays. You got another opportunity. 3 missed tackles in the backfield. You got a chance to get that to 3rd and 20, and you couldn't get it done. Another one right here with Charlie Collins just being a very easy person to block. You have to be more physical. I've seen it in practice. You got great hips. You explode so well. Why are you not doing this hips, babe? Like it's you full extension, all right? I'm not that kind of hips, babe. See, you was thinking the same thing. Get out of there. He's very explosive with his hips. Full extension, and he can explode. I don't see it on tape. And another guy I want to call out is Larry Worth, okay? Matt Harris always referred to you as Captain Crash, okay? Because you're always coming down there looking to just hit someone. I have not seen it this year at all. I don't know what's going on. Once again, as soon as you see this right here, the ball is in this running back's hands. What are you waiting for? I don't understand what you're waiting for at all. You just sit here and get blocked. That is not good. David, you see what I'm saying? I don't understand. Here's another look right here. What are we waiting for? Go blow this up, and then this little seam that this quarterback has is not there. It's not there. bad football that we've been playing on tape and very uncharacteristic. And I wouldn't be so upset if I haven't seen these guys perform at a high level, but I've seen it from every single one of them. I don't get what's going on. Coaches got to hold these guys more accountable too. It's about time to start sitting some people down on the bench if they don't want to get physical. And then you get a look right here. This guy catches this ball. This is in the third quarter. Memphis down by 11. You know, they're starting to gain some momentum. You have every angle you could ask for right here to go ahead and get this to a third down, right? But I'm not sure what my guy right here is doing with this awful angle. Where's he going? Nothing's behind him. And then there's no point of protecting the sideline because guess what? If he goes out of bounds, the play is dead. There's no reason to go for this juke at all. He can't go that way. The sideline's an extra defender. Just bad football right here. He gets past 15, ends up turning what should have been a 3rd and 4 into a first down. Whew. Larry Worth, once again, what are we doing? You're big safety, all right? Tight ends should not manhandle you when it comes to the blocking scheme. They shouldn't. And they can't. If you play up to your potential, this should not be able to happen. Larry Worth, one of our captains, this tight end, number 15, is blocking down on him. And watch, he just pushes him 5 yards down the field. He jumbles it up for anyone else to try to get over and stop this play. And it's an easy walk-in touchdown. It's just, I feel like we've just been getting punked this whole game. I don't know how else to put it. Once again, if that offends you, good. It should. Don't get punked when we play Notre Dame. Watch this tape and tighten up. Let's go. Quincy Rhodes right here. I will say this, man. I've been on you a lot this year because I think your potential is huge, all right? And you've been showing up. I'll say that. You're being in the backfield. There's so many times you get pressure out on the edge. You need some help from not letting quarterbacks step up in the pocket. But on this one, you have to stay with your keys, okay? Score right here is 31-26. And this is the drive, I think, Memphis, maybe the drive after this. You can't give them anything right now. Everything is on the line. You're supposed to be outside contained right here. Don't go inside. Watch what happens when he goes inside. There's no reason for you to go in there. You got to trust your teammates, okay? I know sometimes that's tough from based off what I've just showed on tape, but you can't get away from it because as soon as you go inside, watch this alley that opens up, and once again, another easy first down for Memphis to pick up. Just miscommunication all over the place, and this is where I really believe that something is actually going on with Xavier Sorey. We saw how physical he can be. We saw it against Oklahoma State last year when he got that personal foul for body slamming that guy. Now, we were all mad at him for being too physical. And, you know, you got to be smart, but we know he has it in him. But right here, this running back he treated him like he was a third-string backup. Just a quick little stiff arm. And then you got guys downfield like 15. You're so easy to block. Get off of a block. What are we doing? Be physical. Receivers, they look at you on tape right now, and they're just like, Coach, run this way. All right, we got the advantage. Don't be that guy on film. And Larry Worth, what are we doing? Go blow this guy up. Tell me if you think this is somebody who wants to get the tackle. Tell me. Larry Worth, our very physical safety. Just, I don't get it. I don't understand. That's tough, man. That's tough. And you're putting it on tape, all right? I don't want to talk about this stuff each and every week. Please don't put it on tape. And this is where, like I said, I think something really is going on with Xavier Sorey. This is not like him at all. Meet this back in the hole and just seeming like he's physically not able to get it done. You'll see another look here from the end zone. Yeah, that's not – I mean, the extension, yeah, that's not him, man. So like I said, if you are hurt, I know you want to be there for your teammate. You want to be that guy, Coach, put me out there. If the level you're playing at is hurting the team, it's tough. You have to go to the coach and be like, Coach, you got to put someone else in. I can't help. I'm hurting the team by being out there. And coaches should respect that. Hopefully see this while watching tape. All right, that's our first little spill with the defense. We're about to take a look at the offensive side of the ball. I would love to say things get better. Good God, they don't. I had some great conversations with some people about this offensive performance and a lot of question marks, not just with players. I'll say that. But some coaching decisions as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take our first time out. I want y'all to pay attention to this, okay? So, you know, our presenting sponsor, Oaklawn, we have a new commercial out, and it's kind of fun. Roger Scott, y'all know that little clown. He's so fun. You know David Basil as well. and I've made my debut in my first commercial ever. Pretty fun. Y'all stay tuned. On the other side, we're going to take a look at that offensive side of things when it comes to the breakdown. A lot to talk about. Taylon, that's right. I got to talk about you. Offensive line, a couple things popped up there. I even got to talk about Coach Petrino as well. And that's scary. That guy scares me because I respect him so much. But we got to talk about it. We'll be right back after this break.
Okay. I got my bet in on the next drive. Y'all?
Yep. Whoever loses picks up the tab.
You know, this Oakland Sports betting app is so fun to use, it might actually make watching these games with y'all bearable.
Big talk coming from a fella about to lose this wager.
Just need a field goal here and you'll be cooked, my friend. Remember our friendly wager.
And it's good.
Go!
Bet on any game all season long with Oakland Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app.
This is humiliating.
At Ortho Arkansas, we know that Friday night sports injuries can't always wait until Monday morning. That's why our fellowship-trained sports medicine team opens our Saturday morning sports injury clinic every weekend during football season. With on-site x-rays, on-site MRIs, same-day evaluations, we can get the diagnosis for our athletes immediately so you know you get the right care at the right time. Our goal for our athletes is a safe recovery and a strong return to play. Saturday Sports Clinic, only at Ortho Arkansas.
Southwest Auto Collection in Arkadelphia isn't just another car lot. It's a whole new way to buy a vehicle. Built for comfort, designed for convenience. No pushy sales, just friendly faces, honest answers, and a place that feels more like home than a dealership. Because buying a car shouldn't feel stressful, it should feel simple. One of the biggest perks to buying here at Southwest Auto Collection is we have a Tires for Life program. So as long as you get your service done here, we'll replace your tires completely for free with regular wear and tear up to 200,000 miles. So come on down to see us at 1451 North 10th Street in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. Southwest Auto Collection, a better way to buy, right here in Arkadelphia.
Your day with Roger Scott, David Basil, and country music star Justin Moore. The Zone with award-winning journalist Justin Acree and former Hog DJ Williams. Afternoons with Out of Bounds, hosted by Wes Moore and Joe Franklin. And on your way home, it's Drive Time Sports with Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer. 103.7 The Buzz is your fun and game station. Live and local all day. 103.7 The Buzz.
Football season is back, and 4th and 5 is ready to give you the best coverage that you can find when it comes to Razorback football. At home games, we're going to be live 2 hours before kickoff at the Alumni House. Everything from breakdown, strategy, taking a look at the analysis for the weeks before, even taking a look into the opponents that we're playing as well. So many questions surrounding each and every moment of the game. 4th and 5 is going to be your one-stop shop to have you covered. Also, too, make sure you're joining us in all of our live shows. Monday night with that breakdown live from Oakland at the Mainline Sports Bar. Wednesday night viewer comments. And then Friday night, we're going to pick our high school game of the week. And then, once again, circle it back around to Razorback football. The thing that separates us is we call it how we see it. Not mean, just fair and honest. Make sure you subscribe on all of our social media platforms and be a part of this growing community. 4th and 5, keeping it real, calling it like we see it. No. 4th and 5, giving you everything you need when it comes to Razorback football, but keeping it honest. No, that's not good either. 4th and 5, the state's best. Oh, no, not there yet. We're working on it. 4th and 5, your go-to channel for your... You know what? We'll cross that bridge later. Can y'all just subscribe, and we'll figure out the tagline later. All right. See y'all later. Yeah, these things are awesome. We're always taking up. Whoa. Where are we going? Oh, David, bring me back, man. Bring me back. Whoa, that's a flag on the play. Oh, that's a flag on the guy in the chair. Oh, Look at that. Go ahead, bring your mic up, man. You good? Where's your mic at?
We in here, man. We in here, man.
You okay? You locked in?
I'm locked in, man. We ain't had a flag in like 3 weeks. Hey, man, it happens to the best of them, man.
It
happens to the
happens.
best of them.
So that's our guy in the chair that y'all are hearing. So any comments, he kind of helps us go through them. I'll say this. He's doing a great job. Hey, can you turn the audio up for me too? My guy in the back, Alex. Is that better, Alex? Yeah, that's another flag on him, right? God, Dave, you're on it. The guy in the chair seriously does a great job making all this happen. You should see him. Does the setup, does all the lights, puts the desk out. He's the one pushing up cameras and all that fun stuff. So we'll keep that thing going. Dave, you're doing a good job. All right, still a flag on the play. Zach, listen to this. I implemented a thing. So my nephew is the guy in the chair. Guy in the chair works for me now, right? He quit his job, and now he's full-time with 4th and 5. But we had a little bit of an issue with getting to work on time, all right? And so I don't like to argue with people, right? And I said, guy in the chair, I'm not going to get on you one time for being late. It will just be reflected in your paycheck every day that you're late. All right. So $25 a day, late fine fee. I think that's fair. All right.
I agree.
Is that good? You good? All right.
I agree.
So far, we got 3 days that we've missed. That's $75. All right. I don't say a word. He just sees it in the check. It almost helps me out. Save some money for the company. All right. But you keep doing your thing. All right. All right. Here we go. Let's go ahead and keep this thing rolling. Back to the breakdown. And once again, let's stick with the offensive side of things. We're moving to the offensive side of things. Not much better, as I kind of talked about and alluded to, taking a look at the tape. So let's start with the very first play of the game. Okay, you talk about setting the tone. Well, Memphis, you did a really good job of setting the tone. The very first play of the game, Memphis said, we are not going to let Talon run for 100-plus yards and somebody else run for 100. They are literally all out. So people said Talon made the wrong read right here. In Talon's defense, who do you give the ball to? They put everything in making sure that this read option was not going to get flowing early in the game. Grant Cook's going to talk a little bit more about how to block this up, but we both just talked about sometimes the defense will just dial it up, and it is what it is. It's just, how do you respond to this? Well, you're going to see things on tape that I think maybe we need to take a page out of Memphis's playbook. And maybe defensively for Arkansas, we can maybe start rolling the dice in some situations. But you got to give credit where credit is due. There's a few times when they dialed it up nice. And this is really cool as well. This player from Memphis, I'm not sure who that is, but dude's a certified dog. Our offensive line had an issue with this guy. But watch this right now. He's going to come down and pick this offensive lineman and let his D-line come around him. You don't see that much during run plays. That's what Grant talked about. I'll let him dig into it. But look at that pop right there. Just all up in the chest of our center, pushing him into the backfield, leaving Mike Washington with nowhere to go. They really said, we're going to show up and be physical. It's going to be a fight. And it showed right here. You're going to see right here, he takes a nice little slant inside. You think that's just speed and a good move? Well, I can tell you how these things are avoidable. This is where intelligence when it comes to the football field comes into play. So right now, if you look at this, I think Corey Robinson should have known that he was going to go inside. Right now, the way it looks, this defensive end has outside contain. So Corey Robinson, he's thinking the right thing. I have to get out here and capture this guy's edge so we can get around this corner. However, when this tight end came in motion, it changed everything, okay? So you can see right here, really quick, as soon as he comes in motion, he kind of goes in, then goes back out. See how he went out and went back in? So as soon as that linebacker behind him got outside leverage, they most likely said something. It was a call. It was a check, letting this defensive end now know, hey, you can go inside. Now I have outside contain. And even Corey should know this. If that linebacker is outside of the DN, then that will free him up to shoot inside. These are called indicators. If that happens, Corey doesn't overreach for this guy and gives up a very easy straight line to the running back. Things that I think are preventable. Another one right here. Ooh, they were bringing the pressure. I mean, first of all, I do not envy a quarterback or an offensive line in this situation. Memphis has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys up on the line of scrimmage with only 6 guys available to block them if the running back stays in. So they have to sort this out. But they execute it really, really good. Okay, so the defensive end on the outside, you see him right here. He drops out. So now everything's starting to shape up. Okay, now it's going to be 6-on-6. We just got to find where that 6 guy is coming from. And you can see right here, Carmona does a great job. Grant's going to walk you through all this tomorrow, and he tries to come back and block, but it's just too late. The timing of this blitz could not have been any better. Shout out to that defensive coordinator for Memphis for dialing this up, putting our offense in a very situation. Now, what happens when you do this type of stuff? It's a high risk, high reward. So the reward is you get pressure on the quarterback on a third down, and then you get them off the field, and the punt team comes on. The risk part is what opens up down here. You give your DBs no help at all. We had a guy running wide open in the middle of the field. There's just no time to get the ball to him. So the only way you kind of adjust to this is you go back to the sideline, you watch the little iPads and say, hey, coach, when they showed us this look, we just got to be ready for it next time. There's going to be no safety help over the top. We just have to make sure we pick up that blitz. But kudos to Memphis for rolling the dice. This is where I'm getting a situation where I think Arkansas might need to start thinking about doing. Our defense is struggling right now. We've already said it. A couple guys hurt, maybe. Some depth issues, for sure. If these teams can repeatedly score on us with the way we're doing it now, then maybe we need to start just rolling the dice and start blitzing people and leaving corners in man-to-man situations with no help. If they're going to score anyway, you might as well hopefully put them in a situation where you can make them think quick, maybe get an interception, maybe get a sack, maybe push them to a 3rd and 18. But sitting back and just letting a team completely dominate you and then take more possession off the clock, it ain't working. We got to switch something quick. Memphis maybe gave us a little secret of how to get that done moving forward. Another play right here. This is 1st and 20. We're going to talk about the drives where I think that were just essential for this team's demise at the end. It's 31-26. It's near the end of the 3rd quarter. We haven't scored any more points. I hadn't even touched on us scoring 3 points in the second half. I will here in just a second. I promise you that. But this drive, this is what hurts, y'all. 1st and 20 on the road, and you overcome it, okay? Great protection. Talon throws a dime to a receiver, and you pick up the 1st down. And then we get this play right here. Braylon Russell rumbling, bumbling. I'll talk about why I think he should have got more carries in the first place. And then you get this 2nd and 8. And this is a great job. Earlier in the game, Talon was in this exact situation, and he threw an interception. Sometimes you can't win them all, Talon. Great decision right here, just getting rid of the ball, moving on to the next play. 3rd and 8, great protection, great throw, great concept. We are moving. We're moving, all right? Then we come out of the commercial break, and then we're like, whoa, 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 whoa. 4th quarter started. Talon easy, okay? What are we doing? This is sometimes I think I believe in practice. If I go back to when I played, I know there's sometimes Coach Petrino is right most of the time, and he wants a quarterback to sit there and say, I call this play, and if it's this coverage, this is where the ball needs to go. I think some quarterbacks can take that and say, okay, but then improvise. Ryan Mallett was great at that. I'm not sure if Talon can, in the moment, think, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, but coach, something's telling me I need to get off of this first read. I think he does exactly what he's coached to do. I know you're thinking, what's wrong with that? Sometimes the defense, they don't do what they're supposed to do, and it puts you in bad situations. I'm going to show you a few examples, but you get this play right here, right? Should have been an interception. The guy drops it. And then this is where it all starts taking a turn for the worse. Then you get Braylon Russell on this handoff. A lot of people are trying to figure out who's wrong right here. Is it Talon or is it Braylon? I'm not sure. But this is crunch situation. You need to go down here and score because Memphis is on the prowl. And then you got miscommunication in the backfield. Now, what makes me so frustrated with this, and this may be why we didn't see much of Braylon later on in this game, is because I hate when we run plays before, then run them again and act like we don't know what to do. I got a perfect example for it. I'm going back to the 2nd quarter. At the very beginning of the 2nd quarter, same formation. I'll paint the picture for you. And they're going to be in this pistol formation. The play on the top is 1st quarter. The play on the bottom is what we just saw. It's the exact same formation. The only difference is the tight ends are together on the top one, and they are separate on the bottom one. But they are still going to end up doing the exact same thing. And so as we go ahead and press play, you're going to see Braylon already ran this play earlier in the day on the bottom screen. On the top screen, and he got it right. But then later on in the game, you run the exact same play, then you run it wrong. That is very frustrating for an offensive coordinator when the game is on the line. Top play, Talon pulls it, no biggie, ends up getting close. No, he gets the first down. And then you get to this 3rd and 6. This is the play that I was talking about where I think sometimes Coach Petrino, his coaching and his expectations of what is supposed to happen sometimes is difficult for some quarterbacks to process. So this is who Talon should be looking at. This is going to be the interception, okay? I remember running this play. I remember running this concept. And I remember what Joe Adams and Jarius Wright and Greg Childs used to do on the backside. They are trying to put that guy in a situation where he has to pick who to guard in this zone, okay? So you can see right here, the idea is for him to guard this guy crossing his face based off coverage. That's what he's supposed to do, okay? But he doesn't do it. He sits right there in that window, and Talon throws it right to him, all right? And then the thing is, how does Talon not see this? This is where I just think pre-snap, Coach Petrino probably says, hey, if it's this coverage with the safeties, that guy is going to follow this guy, and your window will be here. So I think he's doing what he's coached to do, but you still have to be a football player and understand when a guy is out of place. How do you know he's out of place, DJ? Well, who's supposed to cover the wide open guy in the middle of the field? All right. What should have been an easy pickup for a first down turned into an interception. Okay. I think if Talon is keying that guy, he sees this and gets the ball out quick. And I mean, he runs in there inside the 10-yard line. We don't let them get the ball back. Things change. And then, it just gets to decision-making with Talon. You can see he's trying to do too much. You throw this pick, and I think sometimes he's feeling the pressure of like, we have to score just about every time. If you're going to throw this ball anywhere, get rid of it right now to the seam, all right? It's fine. You can hold on to it. But when you get in this situation, I get it. Our defense is struggling. I'm sure Coach Petrino and everybody else is saying, hey, guys, we have to score every time we step on the field. That would be great. But when it's not there, you can't force it like this. You just have to move on and fight for another day and not have a turnover, maybe get to a 3rd down. Another one right here where I think when you look at the he's really starting to lean on outside receivers, and I'm not sure about the decision process right here. The first thing he should do right here is key the safeties, okay? Look how low they are. You know something's up if they're playing that low. And so what does that mean? They're most likely going to be in man-to-man situation. You see the safety blitzing, and then you got man-to-man outside. However, how do you pick which receiver you want to throw to? You got to think that sideline is almost like an extra defender. Okay, so if he goes outside, you have to throw it into the smallest window to complete this ball. But look at the middle of the field. What are we looking? I mean, so much space in the middle of the field, and I think this is C.J. Brown down here. He's going to run a great route because there is no safety help. There's no one there, y'all, and he runs a great route. This guy's falling down. I think pre-snap, Talon should have known there's no one in the middle of the field. Let me not even look out here. There's no point because there's so much more space to work with and operate with in the middle of the field. That should have been another easy throw and catch for a 91-yard touchdown. How nice would that have been? Just missed a guy. Wide open, and I think that should have been easily dealt with the pre-snap read. Get to a 2nd and 6, and once again, this is kind of when the wheels start falling off. You see it's 4th quarter, 31-26, and this is going to lead us to the drive that ultimately ends with the fumble of Mike Washington. Still, so many things on tape that would have prevented that in the first place, and things that are really have me concerned when it talks about the Razorbacks moving forward when it comes to decision making. However, we will talk about that after this quick break because we got to talk about what is going on here with Monday Night Football. I tell you, Oakland Sports making a lot of this happen, and I love hanging out with making our picks. Even though Arkansas let me down on my 13-leg parlay, I couldn't believe it, okay? So coming up after the break, we're going to take a look at what's on the board here at Oakland for Monday Night Football in a little sneak peek. What's going on with Notre Dame? I'm going to tell you this. I'm still not too impressed with Notre Dame. And I know if we tighten some things up offensively, we can score on Notre Dame. All right, so we're going to talk about that and more on the other side of the break. We'll be right back.
I bet they run the ball right here. Well, you former Razorbacks think you're so smart, don't you? What? Well, if you are so smart, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Wager on the Oakland Sports app. It's the best in-game wagering available in the state. Maybe use that football brain of yours to bet on this next play. Plus your favorite games. It's that easy. Yes! See? You should have took the bet.
Bet on any game all season long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app.
Hey y'all, this is Cam here at Southwest Ford in Arkadelphia. We just built our brand new 3 facilities here, our GMC, Dodge, and Ford facilities. If you're coming down the highway on I-30, take exit 78. We'll be 1.5 miles down the road. You're gonna look on the right-hand side and you're gonna see our beautiful Chevrolet store. Right past that, you're gonna see our beautiful Dodge store. And at the end, you're gonna see our wonderful Ford store. Our 3 facilities here make it so easy for you to shop here. Whether it's online or in person, we have almost everything you want and need. And if we don't have it, we'll go out and get it for you. If you live somewhere far, north, east, south, or west, we will deliver to you. Free delivery across the whole state. Please come down and come see me at Southwest Auto Ford in Arkadelphia.
Hey, you're not in high school anymore, but that knee still remembers that state championship. And that shoulder, well, it's been off since that game-winning drive. At Ortho Arkansas, they see it all the time. Old injuries that never fully healed, finally sneaking up on us. But here's the good news. It's never too late to get back into the things you love. Whether it's running, lifting, coaching, or just keeping up with your kids, their sports medicine team is there to help you move forward without pain holding you back. Fellowship-trained physicians, personalized recovery plans, care that's built around your goals. Because once an athlete, always an athlete. Ortho Arkansas, for plays that still matter. At Oaklawn. Before we get started, I got Zach Gillum here with me. I got to talk about my friends over there at Southwest Auto real quick, Zach. Listen to this. Tires for life over there for new vehicles. If you go over there and purchase a new vehicle over there in Arkadelphia, you will get tires for life. Trust me. I wish I had that. I just bought new tires. The ones that I had to have for my vehicle, Zach. Mike, for him. Yeah, for that car, the Tesla. $400 a pop.
Yeah, those aren't cheap.
2 days later, ran over a steak. Hey, but don't worry. I did not get the warranty. All right.
Man.
What idiot. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Tires for life sound nice, right? So go visit my friends over there in Arkadelphia at Southwest Auto. Let's go and move on. Take a look at what's on the board right now. Zach, we just got through talking things getting a little weird over there with this line for the Arkansas game. It opened up at what?
Yeah, it opened up at 6.5, dropped pretty quick to 6. It's down to 5. So Arkansas now a 5-point dog. Notre Dame favored by 5. They are coming to Fayetteville. This is an 11 a.m. early kickoff. Total right now at 64.5. And I've actually seen this line be at 4.5 and 4 at other books.
Yeah, we talk about how disappointing it would be. Based off what I've looked on tape, even still, I'm not sure. I'll talk about what's going on in the second half here in a little bit and what I thought Arkansas should have done when we get back to our breakdown. But when we can score with anybody, and Purdue put up 30 points on Notre Dame.
Yeah, no,
with Malachi Singleton.
There's no question. I was saying to you, I feel like this is going to be one of those instances after this game. If we can pull off what I think we can pull off, we're going to look back at these last 2 weeks and go, man, what could have been?
All right, so my chat room is going absolutely nuts right now. And so I want y'all to tell me right now, and even people here, if you hop into it, if how do I say this? If Arkansas beats Notre Dame, are we back on track? Or is everybody still losing their mind? You know, I think that would be a pretty significant Band-Aid if we beat Notre Dame on Saturday.
I think for the mass of the fan base, it's going to be a big Band-Aid.
Big
really
Band-Aid.
help things.
Okay.
You're always going to have some people that are negative no matter what. You're going to have the woulda, coulda, shouldas, and, you know, I'm kind of one of the woulda, coulda, shouldas. But,
yeah.
No, I mean, I think it'd be a great thing. We obviously want to continue to win games. We don't want to just lay down because we've lost 2 close ones.
Oh, no. James says no. Don't forget, you can hop into the comment section right now. You're telling me, James, if we don't beat Notre Dame at home, it doesn't make you feel a little bit better? He's not feeling it. We still got a tough schedule in the SEC play. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what's on the board when it comes to Monday Night Football. All right, I'm going to start with, we got the Ravens and the Lions. We just got the spread money line under up. Has anything changed since we made this?
So there are no changes from what I'm seeing up there. All those lines are still consistent. Ravens 4.5-point favorites. This is in Baltimore. Total at 54.
Are you surprised with this? I mean, I would say Lions are not the same Ben Johnson Lions, with their offensive coordinator now being in Chicago. And, the Ravens, we know them.
Yeah,
Explosive.
absolutely. I mean, the Ravens look great. The Ravens, though, they struggle to close out games. We saw the Lions bounce back last week. They had a very good performance, looked more like the old offense, put up a good amount of points. So, we'll see how it goes. I do agree. I wouldn't have been shocked if this had been closer to a touchdown.
Hunter, right now, as I'm getting these comments saying, big Band-Aid for sure, but doesn't save the season. Okay, Hunter, what else do we – all right, if we win the next 2 games, is that a big enough Band-Aid and potentially season-saving? That would be A&M as well. So I'll let y'all talk about that. All right, but let's keep the line going right now. We're going to take a look at what else is on the board for Monday night matchup. Real quick, as we're taking a look at all this stuff real quick, Zach, people can actually watch this right now in the palm of their hand. Tell them how they can download that. Go download the app right now.
Yeah, the app is available in the Apple App Store, so the iOS Store, Google Play Store. Desktop users can join in on the fun. All you have to do is look at the plugin that'll prompt for you. So download that. You're good to go. New customers up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Very easy to do. All you have to do is sign up, make a deposit. You're automatically active in that offer. Runs for your first 10 days.
All right. So let's go and take a look at what's on the board right now. We got some team totals for touchdowns, team total for points, and then over-under as well for successful field goals here tonight. Ebony's looking at it right now. The Lions is her team. I don't know how that happened, but it's her team. What's intriguing right here, and kind of break this down for people?
Yeah, so looking at this, you're looking at total team TDs. So one of the more popular markets is an anytime touchdown score. We've been talking about that a lot the last few weeks. But this is an option that's for the full team, so you don't necessarily care who's going to score. 3.5 is what you're looking at for the Ravens, so they're going to need to score 4 touchdowns if you're looking at that over. And then on the Lions, 2.5, so they would need to score 3. On the team points, that is just the team total, 29.5. If you're looking for the over, that'd be 30 or more. And then on the line, it's 23.5. Successful field goals. That's a fun one. We got Bates there playing. So 3.5 current line over plus 114. What that plus means is for every 100 you bet, you're going to profit 114. Whereas the under, that minus indicates how much you need to wager to profit 100. So you need to wager 148, you'll get back to 100.
And the field goal one is not just for one team; it's for both teams combined.
Correct. That is for both teams combined.
Okay.
And that is key to know. And not just that. I mean, there's over 600 markets right now available for this game.
Wow.
They range anywhere from the anytime touchdown score to player passing, player receiving, player rushing. You can go to game first. I know one of the ones you like, once the game gets started, you can wager what's going to happen on the next drive. Sometimes you're looking a drive or two ahead, but there's a lot there in terms of in-game play.
Yeah, you see some right here. Lamar Jackson plus 250 passing yards. We got Zay Flowers, Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Lions. So talk about these lines and, what this means for people trying to bet on these.
Yeah, so looking at this first one, the player passing, so 250 plus. So what's really fun, Oakland Sports, you're going to have what we call ladder options. They might start as low as 175, go up to 300. The odds are going to vary for each of the quarterbacks. Then you have their main numbers. What we're looking at right now is just 250 plus. So if Lamar throws for 251 yards and you bet the over, you're going to be getting that plus 145. Same thing on the receiving and the rushing yards. We're just looking at receivers and running backs. Zay Flowers minus 118. St. Brown at minus 129. If you take those two combined together on an anytime touchdown score, plus 400. Don't ask how I know that.
How do you know that, Zach?
Don't ask how I know that. Derrick Henry minus 159, so that's at 80 plus. But he's going to have options that go up to 90, 100. So if you want to get that closer to even money, you have that ability.
I like it. I think we that's it right there. So what else is on the board when it comes to this game here tonight? People want to partake in it.
Yeah, looking at the game tonight. So I think it's going to be a lot of those in games. I know we talked last week. Ebony hit a great one. So look for the same game parlay boost. Ebony took advantage of that, took her 40-1 to 44-1, hit it.
Woo!
Hopefully you can do the same. Not as easy as it sounds, but
tough.
Very good work there. And then this weekend, don't forget all the games for next week are on the board. So if you're looking ahead while you're watching tonight's game, go ahead, dive in, look at it. You have some great matchups. Ole Miss and LSU right now, that is a 1.5-point line. Ole Miss is your favorite. You have Georgia, Alabama. Georgia, a 3-point favorite. Oregon and Penn State. That is the night game right now. You have Penn State as a 3.5-point favorite. So there's a lot of really good games coming up. That's just looking at the college slate.
Ooh, come on now. I like it. Zach, I appreciate you. Going to the game this weekend?
I will not be at the game this weekend. I'm actually going to be going to the Cowboys game this weekend to watch your Packers.
Oh, there we go.
For some Sunday night football.
They had a rough day.
They did. I don't know.
What was that about?
That's not what I was expecting.
The Browns?
They were kind of banged up. A few offensive players,
Yeah.
not to 100%, but yeah, not what we were looking for.
Let's get to a comment right here. This is pretty fun right here. This is from James. Too many commercials, DJ. Too many. Well, guess what, James? When you want to start paying the bills around here, you let me know, okay? And obviously, I want to talk about some really cool things that everybody has going on. So that being said, I don't know if you've ever not been out here to Oaklawn. They got much more to offer than just the cool mainline sports bar. They got the great casino. It really is a one-stop shop for a resort. You're going to see that here just in a little bit. And I got a nice little comment right here. Real Val Pal, she's with us too. All right, so that being said, we're going to take a quick commercial break. On the other side, something interesting popped up, okay? Yeah, we're going to talk about the Razorback game, but I actually had a chance to sit down with the number 2 ranked player in the state. All right, his name is Evan Goodwin. He plays in Bauxite, 6'7", 325-pound offensive lineman, offers to Ohio State, offers to Oregon. I mean, any school you can think of, he has. So I sat down with him, and we had a great conversation, and I did ask him, who's committed to SMU right now. I said, what could have Arkansas have done better to get you to be a Razorback? And he answered, and it was very eye-opening. And then he said, this may sound bad. I was like, whoa. Let's not get too crazy. It's actually not as bad as it sounds, but I think it was very eye-opening perspective when it comes to talent evaluation up there on the hill. So we're going to have the rest of our breakdown, and then we're going to have that from Evan on the other side as well, and then we'll talk about that. So we'll see you in just a second.
Welcome to Oaklawn, where every arrival marks the beginning of a memorable stay. From the moment you walk through our doors, Oaklawn's dedicated team is committed to exceeding your expectations. Our concierge is ready to welcome you by tailoring your ideal escape. With 2 restaurants on site, we can reserve your table to experience fine dining without ever having to leave the resort. The Bugler offers a culinary experience featuring an array of American cuisine and overlooks Oaklawn's legendary thoroughbred racetrack. Oaklawn has served as a destination for horse enthusiasts for generations, offering you the experience to witness the thrill from December through May. The live action at Oaklawn spans from betting on thoroughbreds to spinning reels and rolling dice in the casino. Your modern fine dining experience awaits at the Oak Room & Bar with highly composed plates located inside the casino. With a depth of flavors to leave your palate craving more, accompanied by some of the most unique cocktails and extensive wine lists in the region, your dining indulgence doesn't end with the Oak Room. Our concierge can provide recommendations on a variety of local restaurants. The elegantly appointed lounge of the First Turn Bar is the perfect setting to wrap up your day of adventure. Discover the charm of hot springs and check into Oaklawn, your ultimate destination.
Everybody, here we go. Let's get back into this breakdown. Jeremy, are you still with us? Having a good time. Isn't Oaklawn a cool little spot to hang out with? All right, I told y'all we're going to go and wrap this up. Let's get to the end part of this breakdown as I go ahead and bring this back up on the screen. So this is going to be the end of the game, okay? Just some things popped up on tape where I'm just, what are we doing? All right, we get in situations I feel we don't have to. We get the momentum going, all right? You pick up a great second down. We'll actually get to a 3rd and 2. They have a great read here by Talon. I mean, Memphis is giving you exactly what you want when it comes to a read option right here. They're crashing down. He does a great pull. He gets it right here, picks up a great first down. This is after the interception, so you can tell he's running much harder. He's like, we got to get this going. I talked about like our defensive linemen and our safeties and stuff attacking instead of catching blocks. You want to know what that looks like? Well, look at this guy from Memphis right here. Watch him attack Corey Robinson right here. Watch this pop. Boom. Pushes him about 3 yards back, gets in this running lane, prevents him from getting up into the second level, and they get a nice little start right here. That's something I think Arkansas players need to get used to. But he picks up this 3rd and 8. This is very interesting tape right here. First of all, incredible throw. I thought this was going to be another interception. But let's take a look at what's happening up front. I showed it earlier with Braylon Russell. When something happens in the game and you get it right, and then the same opportunity presents itself later and you get it wrong, that's hard for me to wrap my mind around, especially in crunch situations. Once again, we need to go score right here. This happens a lot. So they bring people up into the A gap, and sometimes they drop them out because they're trying to confuse the offensive line and the running back who they pick up in protection, okay? So at the snap of the ball, watch this guy right here. see how he turns around. First of all, it's a poor acting job, but he's trying to say, I'm not blitzing. So he goes like this, like he's going to get back in coverage. And then hopefully the offensive linemen say, okay, he's not coming. And then they go to block someone else. And then that guy will re-engage like he does right here. But they don't fall for it. They pick it up and they throw it into this window. Now, I thought this was the game right here. I was like, Taylor, whew, this was dangerous right here. But he somehow snuck it into it. So it is what it is. A great catch by Omega Blake. And then another 3rd and 8. So that last play was 3rd and 8. Then we get to another 3rd and 8 situation, okay? And the defense, from my perspective, I think does the exact same thing, but this guy now comes running free. So I'm just like, you've seen it before. Why are we not able to pick it up the second time? All right, you see kind of the same look. I kind of been bouncing back with Grant Cook, trying to figure out if it is the same look. He's going to talk more about this pass protection in his breakdown tomorrow morning, that is, sorry. But you see right here, the guy, watch this. He does the same thing. He fakes like he's not coming. He just did this 3 plays before, and we blocked him. This time, we said, come on in. Runs completely unblocked, free, right to the quarterback. And the thing is, we even overcome this and still get down to the goal line. But these things, when we put them on tape, man, they're going to haunt us moving forward because now teams are going to say they're still having confusion up front. And we're going to see that tape from Memphis. And now we have to see this each and every week and make sure we can't miss on any of these blocking assignments. So, once again, it is just very interesting to see that pop up. Now, here's where I want to get at. So we're in a situation, we were up 18 points. 18 points, okay? Memphis started making their adjustments, and I think at some point as a coach, you have to be aware of when the game is starting to maybe unravel for a few of your players. Example, maybe Talon. Questionable interception. We're starting to force some things. Some confusion's happening up front. Braylon Russell had 4 carries in this game, and he was averaging over 10 yards a carry, 47 yards on the ground. Talon was averaging about 4.7 yards per rush. Mike Washington was averaging about 4.8 yards per rush. Why were we not running the ball more? Why were we not just eating up the clock and just moving on? I think sometimes Coach P likes to run it up instead of adjusting and playing an offense that typically isn't his. I think you have to have a little bit more situational awareness and maybe make adjustments on the fly based off what is happening in the game. Okay, we usually like to take these shots. We like to do these shots. I'm just going to go ahead and run these clips. But when you have such an effective running game, I mean, like I said, 10 yards a carry with only 4 rushes, what are we doing? And like I said, same thing with running through contact, getting extra yards. All this is doing is just eating up clock. And when you're up 18, why are we not doing this much, much, much more? But we still got in this situation where it's just pass. Now it's a 3rd and something. The clock has stopped. Memphis is getting momentum. I mean, it was just – that was kind of hard for me to wrap my mind around. And I think they finally tried to do it at the end of the game of, hey, let's run the ball and try to eat the clock out, which was working fairly well, but then they punched that ball out and get a fumble. But I think it never should have got to that in the first place. And I think the adjustment in your offensive approach should have happened much, much sooner, just if you're aware of what's happening, and we just have to get off the field. We can't go 3 and out. We can't keep throwing picks and letting Memphis continue that momentum. And I really think running that ball and chewing that clock, if that would have happened much, much sooner, we're sitting here as a 3-1 team getting ready to play Notre Dame at home. And so very interesting to see. I really hate it because, Coach Petrino's my guy. And if he's seeing this, he's probably dog cussing me right now. But I think if you were to go back and look at the tape and look at the feel and vibe of the game, I think maybe you see that and maybe try to adjust. I just can't wrap my mind around how a guy like you just saw with that touchdown run with Braylon Russell didn't get more carries. And if it's because of he ran the wrong way on that one little mesh point, if that's what kept him off the field, I mean, sometimes as coaches, you just, we'll talk about this in the film room come Sunday, but we got to go win this game. I need more of that 10 yards per carry. All right, like I said, that's my wrap-up on the game. I really hate it. I still think there's still much tape to learn from. That was just a little snippet. Matt Harris is going to have a much more in-depth breakdown come Thursday. Grant's going to have a great one for you tomorrow up front, things that we may struggle with moving forward now that we've put it on tape. And then Josh, once again, Friday, It's going to move forward as we take a look at Notre Dame. All right, before we went to break, I said, so something that we've been doing here on 4th and 5, we're starting to try to track recruits, okay? Me being an Arkansas guy, I love Arkansas, even though sometimes I sit here and bash stuff just because I have high expectations for my team, and I want us to be great. I want us to compete for a national championship. I want our program to be in that situation. We've been there before for a few years where we had a shot. And on those teams, guys from here didn't want to go anywhere else. And so I've been going back and forth, and I'm thinking maybe it's the money. Maybe it's the NIL. Maybe that's why we're losing our in-state guys. And so I want to go talk to these top recruits that are committed to other places and ask them why they're not coming here. I already had it earlier this year when I talked to the Bryant guys. And I think a few of those Bryant guys, a lot of people were giving them grief because they said, well, Arkansas didn't even offer them. You know, maybe they didn't want them. Maybe there's better talent outside the state. And I'm just like, what are we talking about? This guy's offered by Oklahoma. He's offered by Alabama. What do they see that we don't see? I see a guy who's 6'4" and he's athletic as athletic can be and so much potential as an edge rusher. Take a chance on these guys, especially if they're in your own backyard. And then this guy, 6'7", looks the part. I was thinking maybe when I get there, he won't look as impressive as he does. This dude is a monster, all right? And here's my sit down with Evan Goodwin, the number 2 ranked player in the state. And when I asked him about his recruiting process with Arkansas.
I don't want to talk about that. Y'all, where y'all from? Where are you from? Born and raised. Where we at?
I'm originally from Little Rock.
Okay.
I grew up in Little Rock, moved to Mountain Home.
Okay.
And now I'm back, Central Arkansas.
Yeah.
I was born in Little Rock, grew up in Benton. Spent a lot of my time out near Perryville. Yeah, it's a town called Perrin. That's where my family farm is.
So I got to ask, and I'm not trying to stir no pots, all right? So think about your answers first, because I talked to some kids over there at Bryant, and I asked them the same thing. I'm a former Razorback, you know, but there has been somewhat, in my opinion, this little space of how come they're not talking to my guys more, you know? You're SMU, I get it. Hopefully we can talk about Razorbacks one day. That'd be awesome. I'll put in a word for you.
Hey,
what do you think they could do a little bit better to keep some more of these guys from Arkansas here in the state of Arkansas?
Offer earlier. Is that what it is? And this is going to sound really, really bad, and I don't mean it to sound like that.
Yeah, I'm quick with your coach, too, if I can use this first or not. But I'm very interested because, you know, I think a lot of people here in the state want to know, why do we keep losing our guys?
Because they're not recruiting the in-state talent they have. Yeah. And that's just being honest. I didn't get my offer until, like, that sophomore, junior year era when I was really starting to get popular. Like, I'd already had a couple of P4 offers. And Arkansas was just late to the pickup.
Yeah.
And when they did pick up, they didn't really treat you like a number 1 priority.
Yeah.
They were more focused on the out-of-state kids than were the in-state kids.
Yeah.
And that's what I got out of it. But also, I'm just one person.
Yeah.
Like my guy down at Sheridan, Bradley Sturdivant.
Yeah.
He loves Arkansas. That's his school. And he probably had a totally different experience, and they could have changed their ways. I'm just speaking from my personal experience.
Eye-opening to me, man. And I think when you have in your own backyard, when we talk about the needs we need to address on the offensive line, and you got a 6'7", 325-pound, and you should see this guy in the weight room. Dude's got a motor, y'all. He's at practice just moving, and he's very self-aware, too. He even feels like he needs to step it up a notch. This is a young kid who's saying, I need to be better about finishing plays. I need to be better. And so you got a guy who's very self-aware and wants to get better. And to have offers from Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, Ole Miss, Bama. I mean, pick a school. My kid's got it, right? Number 2 guy in the state. And he's not felt like a priority at the University of Arkansas in his own backyard. That's why I asked him, where y'all from? Because sometimes guys come in from other states and they want to get somewhere else. And the irony in that is you got an Arkansas guy in Rhett Lashley who's at SMU who understands how special it is to have the hometown connection. That's why he's coming talking to these guys. And I guarantee you says, look, I love Arkansas, you know, and it's just, that's frustrating for me. And I really hope it changes one day. Because you talk about how do we keep up, man? It's really investing in who the in-state guys that we have are going to end up being Razorbacks, and it mattered to the program. I think when you get guys from here, y'all saw Darren McFadden play. It meant something more to him because this was his hometown, and that's why he played at an extremely high and different level because like he felt like he was playing for his family. And that was literally everyone in the stadium. It was everyone across the state. It was something special when he had that hog on his helmet. He talked about when he was a kid and he would just ride his bike around War Memorial Stadium and he would always hear the hog call. And as he was a little kid who couldn't afford to even go into the games, he was always thinking like, I want to be a hog one day. Like you can't recruit that, out of state. That's only made for guys from here to make the program feel that special. And I think that's what takes Arkansas to a completely different level when you have guys within your team who understand what that is. And I think it's infectious and makes them play at a completely different level. So you get people right here commenting right now. I don't know why I can't pull this up there. Wait a minute. Trying to pull it up right now. Once again, Jarius, Joe, Chris Gregg, you got Zach, they all stayed home. QB class was our best. I mean, like I said, we got a whole bunch of guys here who I think can make a difference in this program that we need to figure out. Because I've seen some guys, and I hate to say this, I really do question the talent evaluation sometimes when it comes to recruiting some guys we're bringing in, especially out of the portal. Because I will say this, some of the stuff I'm seeing on tape from some of our new guys, I'm not shocked at all because they were doing the exact same thing at the other schools they were at. And I didn't know if somebody thought there was going to be a flip that switch just automatically that was going to make them be much better here. Very interesting, especially that you're going to be paying these guys as well. All right. So that's all we have here for you today. Monday Night Football is coming up just 10 minutes away. Always remember to download that Oakland Sports app. Be a part of the game. Get lucky like my girlfriend. Have a $5 bet. Win you $225. She won't stop talking about it. Proud of you, boo-boo. That was very impressive. Don't forget, we got a whole lineup for you, 4th and 5 throughout the week, and we'll be live up in Fayetteville this weekend. If you're going to the Notre Dame game, all right, 9 o'clock, we're going to be set up at the Alumni House. I want y'all to come by, hang out. We're actually going to be giving away some money. We're giving away some swags. We're going to have competitions with some of the guys on set, specifically Grant Cook. It'll be a fun pregame show to be a part of. So come on, hang out with us. It's going to be a fun one on 4th and 5. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us all night. Enjoy your matchup. Once again, it is the Ravens versus the Lions, my girls' team. Having a great time here at the Mainline Sports Bar. Y'all need to check it out. I'll see y'all next Monday if y'all want to come hang out with me. We'll be here, hopefully talking about something much better than a loss. We'll see if the Razorbacks can